And welcome to Jeff Koinange live at the Intercontinental Hotel. Thanks so much for staying this late. I know there was a extended news because of the budget, but now you can sit back, relax, because this is going to be one show you all are going to talk about for years and years, because my guest today, what a guest. His career, incredible. His CV, impressive. Starting off at a place called VOK, for those of you who remember. So there's hope for some of us, no doubt. He went on to work for such organizations as BBC, VOA, went on to the UN, was a spokesman for the UN Secretary General. This man has had a life and a half, worked in places you'd never believe. Kabul, Iraq, Southeast Asia, Africa, all over the map. And then he decided he needed to come home. 2011, by-election, Kamukunji, he got in. 2013, ran again, and then a horrific incident, December 7th, where he was meeting with his people and there was a bomb attack. Killed 7 people, he almost lost his legs, was in hospital for months, on crutches to this day, still getting his legs working, trying to work, and it will be successful because this man is no doubt a fighter. A couple of weeks ago at the National Prayer Breakfast, he gave an impassioned speech. Check it out on his Facebook page. 125,000 plus people have already watched it. Incredible. And then he followed it up with an article in the Star newspaper just yesterday. Part of that speech was in the article, amazing. Talking about interreligious relations, Muslims, Christians getting along. This man is an inspiration. His Twitter handle is at MP, as a member of parliament, MP Yusuf Hassan. Mine is at Koinange Jeff. My guest today, sit back, like I said, Member of Parliament for Kamukunji, Washimiwa, Yusuf Hassan. Good to see you, my brother.
Very good to see you too, Jeff.
And
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being on the show. And I have to start by apologizing because the last time you were supposed to be on my show was in downtown Eastleigh. I think we were on First Avenue or something. I invited you, and you were so gracious. You agreed to come, you and former Deputy Speaker Farah Malim, on a day that suicide bombers decided to visit the scene, and they were apparently, allegedly, coming our way. Ended up blowing up, 5 people I think died in that day, including 2 policemen at a police station. And you were supposed to be on that show, and I felt so guilty since, because you know, you and your crew and my crew, we would have all not been here today. And my apologies, I'm setting the record straight.
You don't have to apologize. It wasn't your fault. It was the work of some crazy people who wanted to wreak havoc. Fortunately, we survived and nothing happened. But I'm sorry for the 2 police officers who lost their lives.
Shame. Okay, you're still limping. I saw you still coming in crutches, and I know it's been a painful experience, but we're going to get to that in a moment. But first, let's talk about the news. Let's get the news out of the way. And today, Parliament, 2.2 trillion shilling budget. Your thoughts, real quick?
Well, I think this is one of the biggest budgets in the history of our country. In fact, the biggest. And the government of President Uhuru Kenyatta had made a commitment to expand our economy, to resource our ministries, particularly defense and internal security, so that we can cope with the many challenges that we're facing, as well as to grow our economy so that more people get into jobs and we lift our people out of poverty and underdevelopment.
Yeah, security got the biggest, and no surprise here, they got the biggest chunk of the budget. Good idea?
It is a very good idea, and now that our security forces have the budget, have the equipment and the training, then we can then challenge them to be able to do the job that we've sent them out. Because honestly, in fact, there's been a lot of criticism in terms of security, but our police force is not well equipped, it is not well trained, and it has not been given the ability to be able to deal with the new kind of enemy that they have to deal with. Because it was an ordinary police force that has been trained and been working on the traditional criminal problems that we deal with. But now we face a completely new kind of enemy, a new kind of challenge, and we need to have security forces that are up to the job and well equipped and well trained and can defend this country both internally and externally. And I think this budget goes a long way in doing that.
Great, well done. Okay, enough of the budget. The other big story, and I have to talk about this because, you know, people will say, why didn't I ask him about it? Ambassador Dr. Monica Juma, rejected by your colleagues in Parliament, rejected as Secretary to the Cabinet. What a shame, because I think, you know, I've interviewed her before when she was ambassador in Addis, and, you know, a smart woman, brilliant woman. What is it? I mean, is it a Martha Karua sort of situation where she just rubs people the wrong way?
I really don't know, because she's a very good friend, and I have known her for many years. She is a brilliant woman. She is a highly trained specialist in issues of security and policy and so on. She's done a great job as our ambassador to Ethiopia. I'm really sorry to have been in that parliament today to see the way things have gone. Yeah. And it's really unfortunate that she has not been able to go through the vetting system.
Shame. I hope she still gets a job somewhere, because she's a smart woman.
Indeed.
Okay, back to you now. We will start with December 7th, 2013, that incident.
2012.
I'm sorry, 2012, right, right before the elections. Did you think you were going to die?
Yes, in fact, it was quite a normal day. It was a very beautiful December day. December is one of the best months weather-wise in Nairobi. The sun comes out so bright and radiant. And I had gone to the constituency, having a good time reviewing some of the projects that we have implemented. And then I ended up in the evening at Al Hidayah. I had no idea that was what was in store for me in the evening. I was going around my way through the neighborhood. People were very happy to see me, and I had a fantastic talk with young people, and I was going out, and one moment I was upright and happy. The next moment, bang, I was flat on my back on the ground, unaware of what had happened to me, because when you're hit by something like that, you don't feel it. I had no pain. I had no idea where I was. And to a certain extent, when I tried to move my body, I could not. I could not move my legs. I could not move my arm. And already I felt that some parts of my body were dead. They didn't belong to me. I couldn't react. I couldn't get up. And I wondered, what is happening to me? Where I am? And why don't I get the hell out of here? But I couldn't. And it's at that moment that I felt that maybe something was going to happen to me. I perhaps wouldn't survive. And that goes into your mind. But after some few minutes of recollection, I felt that my head was working. I was conscious, therefore I was. And I felt that perhaps whatever might have happened to me, because I was numbed and dazed, I was going to survive. And then I heard a sound in the distance. And there was someone on the phone narrating what had happened, because it is only then I had, there's a bomb blast. And Mheshimiwa Yusuf is one of the victims. Only then did I realize, have I been hit by a bomb? Because I wasn't feeling anything. Yeah. And then when they came up to me, I wasn't really sure, because there was nobody standing around. Everybody had been hit. I was wondering, where is everybody? Something must be amiss. And when there was a guy with a light, it was dark, who said, "Oh, Mheshimiwa, don't worry, we'll get you out of here as quickly as possible." And I was relieved, because normally when there is a blast and then some people appear, the case is usually that maybe they had come to finish off the job. And then I urged them to get me out of that place very quickly, because the other risk was you could bleed to death. Yeah. And at that moment, there was panic. They were all screaming, saying, "We're waiting for an ambulance." And I shouted at them and said, "Don't wait for an ambulance. Just stop anyone and get me out of here and everybody else who's been injured." And so it is only when they lifted me up, I began to feel the pain, excruciating pain, from my legs to my head. And as they lifted me up, I could see my right foot dangling. So it was obviously clear that I had been hit very badly on it. And then I left, looking down, I could see a pool of blood.
Yours?
Yes. all over the place. And I was wearing a white shirt and white trousers. It was all soaked in red. And it's only then I began to feel the pain and I started shaking. We were rushed to the Aga Khan, and I quickly went into the theater. Dr. Wafula Khamala was the doctor who started working to salvage my legs in a long operation which took several hours. And it's only in the morning that I realized the kind of damage that had been inflicted by the bomb, because my 2 legs were shattered. At the time when I was actually being taken to hospital, I could see the bare bone on my right leg.
Sticking out?
Sticking out. And all the muscles were gone, the ligaments, the tendons, the Achilles heel. I don't have any heels as well on both my foot, they were all gone. And I was just left with the bare minimum as far as my legs were concerned.
My goodness.
Yes.
At one point, they had even recommended amputation, hadn't they?
Yes, this was much later, because after the doctors here had repaired the damage, I was airlifted to South Africa, where I had to undergo through quite a number of skin grafting, because I didn't have any skin around my leg, and so they had to put back. They had to take parts of my skin from the thigh. You know, it is like body repair. You take parts from another part of the body to repair it, and that took a bit of time before I was stabilized. And eventually, when I sought advice on how my leg was going on, although I was in the fixators, the doctors told me that the bone was not mending, and there was serious infection on my right leg. So the South African doctor said that the right leg would probably not be salvaged. I had to come back here because of various reasons. And here again, when I sought specialized advice on it, they said, there's no point. I'm going to suffer for a long time, and eventually maybe the infection would spread. And since the bone was not mending, the best possible solution was an amputation. And that is when I then sought second advice. I went to the United States at the Hospital for Special Surgery in New York, which has got specialized doctors. Dr. Robert Rosebrook, who is one of the top American doctors in orthopedics, then looked at it. And he also said, although I agree with the 2 previous doctors, that this is really a messy situation, that you're maybe best served by amputation, we'll try. So he then reconstructed the whole fibia, the lower part of my leg.
How do you feel now?
Well, I'm now much better. It has recovered. The doctor in New York had been able to save my leg, thank God. And I went back again last month because I had lost 1 inch of bone. So I had a gap. There was a big gap between my 2 legs, and that was impacting on my back and on my movement. And last month they then did a limb lengthening. I was able to get back the 1 inch, and now both my legs are of the same size, and I can walk quite normally, although I need to use crutches for another maybe 4 to 5 weeks.
And you hadn't had time to fix your pants because your pants are still designed to the other leg.
Indeed. One is shorter than the other. You may have noticed.
I'm sorry we're laughing about it, but goodness gracious. And all the while, the people of Isili elected you.
Kamukunji.
I'm sorry, Kamukunji. They elected you.
Yes, indeed.
This guy who was,
the bomb blast happened just some few days after Parliament was dissolved. I had gone back to start seeking the mandate of the people when it happened. And so I could not participate in the elections because of my condition. I was in hospital in January, February, when the nomination was taking place. I was not really keen to go to the elections. I was more concerned with my survival, my own survival. I was going through a crisis. And therefore, elections and being elected was not on my mind. But I came under a lot of pressure from constituents and people who said, you must come back and you must stand. And although at the beginning I was reluctant to do that, in the end I felt that, in fact, if I didn't do that, I was going to give victory to the terrorists who attacked me.
Absolutely.
I was going to make their job much easier, because if that was their intention, their first intention was to kill me. And I must say that when I was taken to Aga Khan conscious, I felt elated, in the sense that I felt they had failed in their mission. And I was alive, and I was going to survive, and I was going to get up again and get on with my life. So I think as a result of that factor of saying, no, I'm not going to allow this evil people to succeed, I agreed to stand. And I was elected for the nomination with a big majority. And then when the day of the election came, I was in hospital watching the election on television.
You were watching the returns coming in?
Yes.
And you saw your name? And
well, mine took some few hours before, and people were coming in. But I was elected on a much bigger majority than I was voted in 2011.
Wow.
Yes.
That's incredible.
And, yes.
Great story.
And it really accelerated my healing.
Yeah.
It gave me a lot of energy, a lot of confidence in people, because there are few people in our society that are evil, that are destructive, that want to destroy, injure and harm others.
Yes.
But the overwhelming majority of people that I meet in the streets of Nairobi, in Kenya, are wonderful, nice people. They want what is good for our country. They are good neighbors. They are good citizens. They are peace-loving, and they want our country to move forward.
Yeah. Much more. I want to talk more about that after the break. Whether you feel safe in the streets of Kamukunji, your constituency, because you come into this room and you hardly have any bodyguards. I mean, one wonders, do you feel safe wherever you go? We won't talk about that. Also, your years at the UN. I mean, you had been all over the world. Do you miss the UN?
Not at all.
You don't miss it?
No. I think I should have left much earlier.
And also, the challenges in Kamukunji, and Eastleigh in particular, Hawala shut down, state of security, it's
enormous.
Very
enormous.
Yeah,
yes.
Lots of challenges.
But that is why I think I got back home, because nobody else is going to do that for us.
I hear that.
Yes.
I hear that. Let's take a break. Wow, what a story. Kamukunji Member of Parliament Yusuf Hassan, what a brave man. He thought he was going to die that December day, but look at him now. Walking tall, for lack of a better phrase. That's what he's doing for the people of Kamukunji. I told you, Inspiration Thursday like no other. Keep tweeting at MP Yusuf Hassan, at Koinange Jeff, the hashtag. Let's use Yusuf. JKL takes a break. We'll be back in a moment.